Welcome to the deep dive. We're all about finding those shortcuts to getting well informed, especially in fields that move as fast as digital marketing for games.
Absolutely. Things change constantly.
Exactly. So imagine you're scrolling, right? Fed up with the usual boring ads. Then, boom, a mini game appears. You can actually play it right there.
That moment, yeah. That little bit of interaction.
That's what we're unpacking today. Playable ads in gaming. It's this interactive format that's really shaking up how games find new players. We want to get into why they work so well and, how they're put together.
And it really is a game changer. So for this deep dive, we've looked at insights from, well, the big platforms like Facebook and Apple, industry groups like the IAB, that's the Interactive Advertising Bureau,
Right.
and even developer stories from places like Reddit, real-world stuff.
So our mission here is to kind of cut through the noise, navigate the tech, the creative side, the strategy, give you the essentials on playable ads, their power, their potential, without getting totally bogged down in like every single tiny detail.
Let's do it.
Okay, so playable ads, they seem to be popping up everywhere.
And for good reason.
They give you this sneak peek, right? You get to interact with the game before you even think about downloading it. It's kind of like trying on shoes before you buy them.
You get a feel for it.
Yeah, a real feel for the gameplay helps you decide if it's actually your kind of thing.
And what's so interesting to me is how they bridge that gap, between just passively watching something and actually actively engaging.
Doing something.
You're not just watching a video, you're playing. It lets potential players experience like a small slice of the game's core loop.
The main mechanic, basically.
Exactly. And that's just a really powerful way to turn someone who's maybe mildly interested into someone who actually clicks install.
We're talking about a short, hands-on demo, usually HTML5, that gives you this immersive preview right inside the ad.
So just to break down the parts, often you see like a little video first, a lead-in.
Yeah, the lead-in video, kind of like a teaser trailer.
Right, sets the scene. And then it usually says something like, tap to try. Clear prompt, yeah. Got to get that engagement.
And once you tap, you're in that full-screen interactive demo, the minigame part.
Mm-hmm.
And then either during or right after, there's that big button, the call to action, the CTA.
Especially for the install.
Exactly, install the app.
And the results, the numbers we're seeing are pretty staggering. It really shows why there's so much buzz.
Okay, hit me with some numbers.
All right, so some studies show they can drive up to like 79% higher average revenue per user ARPU compared to the old school video or static ads.
Wow, 79% higher. That's
That
significant.
is, and conversion rates, sometimes up to 7 times higher than just a standard video ad.
7 times. Okay, so why? Why does just giving someone a little taste work so much better?
Well, I think it taps into, basic user behavior. It cuts down the uncertainty. Will I actually like this game?
Right, the risks.
It lowers that risk perception. And it builds this immediate connection. You've already played it a bit. So when you let users try before they buy, you're naturally filtering for people who are genuinely interested.
So you get better quality installs, people who stick around longer.
Exactly. Higher quality installs, better retention. It's not just a small tweak. It's a fundamental shift in effective user acquisition.
That makes sense. It's not just about being fun, it's strategic, cutting through all the other stuff, vying for attention.
Totally.
But, okay, if you're listening and thinking, this sounds great, but how do I actually make one? What are the tools? Is it super complicated?
Well, it doesn't have to be. There are tools specifically designed for this now. Playable Maker's one. They have a Playable Builder that's drag and drop.
Oh, nice. No coding needed.
Pretty much, yeah. They also have things like a video editor to turn existing videos into playables, even a free converter tool.
Okay.
Now, you could use a full game engine like Unity. Some people do. But developers sometimes say it's a difficult task, even with features Unity built for smaller projects, like Project Tiny.
So it's maybe overkill for just an ad?
Can be, yeah. A simpler route, some suggest, is just using straightforward JavaScript with WebGL. And Google themselves, for Google Ads, they recommend their own tool, Google Web Designer.
Okay.
And then there are platforms like PlayTurbo, which focus on automating the creative process. They use AI for things like language adaptation, making it easier to localize your playable ad for different markets.
Right, scaling it up globally. Okay, so the tools are there. But what about the design? The Interactive Advertising Bureau, the IAB, they have guidelines, right?
They do, yeah. Some core principles for advertising in games generally, which definitely apply here.
What's the big one?
Integration with gameplay. That's key. They really stress that ads should feel like they belong in the game's world, match the theme, the look and feel.
So not jarring.
Exactly. Avoid disruptive stuff like pop-ups or things that take over the screen and just break the flow. Keep it smooth.
Makes sense. What else?
Hand in hand with that is respect for the gamer's experience. Always put the player first.
How does that translate practically?
Things like the close button on an ad.
Hmm.
Make it super clear, always in the same spot, and make sure it works with one tap. No trickery.
Ah, the dreaded tiny X button you can never hit.
Right. They even suggest a buffer zone around it so you don't accidentally click the ad when you're trying to close it. Players need a clear way out.
That feels considerate, actually.
It is. It's about not being annoying, basically.
Yeah.
And related to that, they also say, avoid over-commercialization. Don't just spam the game with ads. It turns players off and makes the ads less valuable anyway.
It's a balance, isn't it? Monetizing effectively without ruining the experience. Seems tricky.
It absolutely is a balancing act.
So what about specifics for these rich media or playable ads? Any technical rules from the IAB?
Yeah, they get more specific. For instance, a playable ad experience. It should give the user an option to exit after 30 seconds.
Okay, the time limit.
And be really clear about what's ad content versus game content. Plus, you need the usual disclosures, like if you need camera access, privacy stuff.
And messaging.
Keep it tight. They recommend things like text overlays under 20 characters, headlines under 25, the main text under 100, and the CTA button text under 20 characters.
Wow, very concise.
Get to the point quickly. Yeah, don't overwhelm.
And interaction design. You mentioned the buffer zone. Anything else?
Yeah, things like having a slight pause, maybe 2 seconds after someone clicks something before showing the next thing. Just user experience safeguards. And performance-wise, they should follow the IAB Tech Lab's lean guidance.
G. What's that stand for?
Light, encrypted, ad-supported, non-invasive. It's basically a set of principles to make ads less annoying, fast-loading, respectful, not blocking content.
Okay.
So if you zoom out, all these guidelines really point to the same thing. Effective ads aren't just about shouting loudest, they're about being respectful, especially in games where people are immersed. Preserve that user experience.
Right. It's about being a good guest in the player space. Okay, so you've built this amazing, respectful, playable ad. Now you need to get it out there. Let's talk platforms. Facebook, for example. What are the must-knows?
Okay, Facebook. So, first, it's not just about the creative, it's making sure it runs smoothly on their platform.
Technical hoops to jump through.
A few, yeah. The process usually starts in Facebook Business Manager. Log in, go to Ads Manager, create a campaign. Your goal is probably going to be app installs or maybe conversions.
Standard stuff so far.
Right. Then, when you're creating the actual ad, you choose Playable as the format. You upload your HTML5 file, add your text, tweak the CTA button.
And then you hit publish and pray.
Haha, well, publish and monitor. You track everything in Ads Manager impressions, clicks, installs, conversions, and then you optimize based on what you see.
Makes sense. Where can these actually show up on Facebook's network?
Quite a few places. The main Facebook feed, Facebook Stories. On Instagram, they can be in the feed, but you might need to customize them. Instagram Stories, though, usually just shows the lead-in video, not the interactive part.
Interesting limitation.
Yeah, and they also run on the Audience Network. That's Facebook's network of other apps and sites. There, they might appear as rewarded ads or interstitials, and usually it's just the playable demo, no lead-in video.
Okay. What about the technical specs? You mentioned HTML5.
Right. Facebook wants these things to be self-contained, like a little package.
Meaning?
All your assets, your code, images, everything need to be bundled inside that single HTML5 file, usually using something called data URI or base64 encoding.
Why?
Speed and reliability. It means no external calls, no waiting for other things to load, avoid things like mraid.js, no redirects. It just works instantly.
Got it. Any other technical rules?
Yeah, designed for portrait mode, that's how most people hold their phones. Your main file, the index.html, has to be right at the top level in the zip file you upload. Keep the total number of files under 100. The whole zip package needs to be under 5 MB, and the index.html itself under 2 MB.
Strict size limits. All about loading fast.
Exactly. You upload it through the regular Ads Manager, or there's an API for bigger automated setups. Common mistakes. People forget the specific code for the CTA button, or the files are too big, or they try to use it for campaign types or placements that don't support playables.
Lots to keep track of, and that's just Facebook. Then you've got the big gatekeepers, Apple's App Store and the Google Play Store. They have their own rules, right?
Oh, absolutely. Apple's whole philosophy is about providing a safe, curated experience. Every app gets reviewed by actual people.
And their guidelines are known for being pretty strict.
Very. It boils down to a few main things. Safety first. No objectionable content. Super strict rules for kids' apps, no links out, usually no ads or analytics unless behind a parental gate. Performance is key too. Apps need to be stable, complete, use official tools, and crucially, self-contained. No downloading extra code after install that changes what the app does.
Right, they don't want apps changing functionality under the radar.
Yeah, exactly. Monetization, mostly through in-app purchases. Linking out to buy stuff elsewhere is very restricted, though there are some regional exceptions now. And legality privacy is huge. GDPR, CCPA compliance, clear privacy policies are mandatory. Basically, Apple wants polished, trustworthy apps. No cutting corners.
It sounds intense, but it aims for that premium feel. What about Google Play? Similar vibe?
Similar goals, user safety, preventing misleading behavior.
Yeah.
But sometimes the interpretation can lead to interesting situations.
Like what?
Well, there was this fascinating case a developer shared it online. They made a game where the gameplay itself was designed to look like those old fake pop-up ads from the early 2000s, the "You've won" type things.
Uh-huh. Yeah, I remember those. So the game was mimicking bad ads.
Exactly, that was the whole point. But Google kept rejecting it. They cited ads, policy violation, and misleading users to some ads.
Even though they weren't real ads.
Right. Google's concerns seem to be, one, that it might accidentally train users to click on things that look like ads, leading to accidental clicks on real ads later.
Yeah.
Or two, that these fake ads could easily be swapped out for real deceptive ones.
Ah, okay. So it highlights this tension between creative game design and platform policy aimed at protecting users.
Totally. It's that balance again. Creative freedom versus platform integrity and user safety.
How did the developer resolve it?
They had to make the fake ads look more obviously fake, using silly names, adding disclaimers in the game saying these aren't real ads, removing buttons like Enter Now that didn't actually do anything in the game.
So extreme clarity was key. Make it impossible to mistake for a real ad.
Precisely. It really drives home how careful you need to be distinguishing game content from anything that even resembles an ad. It's not just about your intent. It's about how the platform perceives the potential risk to users.
Wow. It's wild how a fun game idea bumps up against real-world ad policy. It definitely shows you need to know the rules of the road. But okay, once you are on the road, how do you know you're heading the right way? How do you optimize? This brings us to A/B testing, right? You called it the cheat code earlier.
Yeah, maybe a bit dramatic, but it is incredibly powerful. A/B testing, or split testing, is just comparing two versions of something, an ad, a landing page, whatever, to see which one performs better.
Simple concept, big impact.
Huge impact. It's how you make decisions based on actual data, not just guesses. It helps you boost conversions, get users more effectively, keep them longer, figure out what creative works best, and honestly, save money by not wasting spend on stuff that isn't working.
So what kind of things can you actually test with playable ads? Is it just the button color?
Oh, you can go way deeper than that. Sure, test ad creatives, visuals, headlines, CTAs. Compare a playable ad versus a static image or video. Test your App Store page, different icons, screenshots, descriptions. But within the playable itself, you could test different tutorials. Maybe one version has a quick tutorial, another throws you right in. Test the difficulty. Is it too hard, too easy? Test the length of the demo. Test different end cards. Maybe one is static, one is interactive.
So you can really fine-tune the minigame experience itself.
Absolutely. You can even test influencer campaigns, different content styles, or social media posts. The key is to have clear goals, test one thing at a time.
Right. Isolate the variable.
Exactly. Split your audience evenly, run the test long enough to get statistically significant data. Don't just run it for a day, then analyze and iterate. Do it again.
And best practices. You mentioned testing one variable, balanced audiences, running it long enough. Anything else?
Use a control group if you can, a version with no changes to have a baseline. And crucially, document everything. Keep track of what you tested, what worked, what didn't. Build that internal knowledge base.
Makes sense. What are the common mistakes people make with A/B testing?
Testing too many things at once is probably number one. You get results, but you have no idea why.
Muddy data.
Right. Ending tests too soon is another big one. You might see an early trend, but it's not reliable yet. Also, ignoring small wins. A 2% improvement might seem small, but those stack up over time.
Compounding gains.
Exactly. And lastly, failing to retest. What worked 6 months ago might not work today.
Yeah.
The audience changes, the platform changes. You got to keep testing.
Continuous improvement. Okay, so A/B testing helps you optimize, but what metrics are you actually looking at specifically for playable ads?
Good question. There are a few key ones. First is engagement rate. Are people actually interacting with it or just skipping past?
So clicking tap to try versus just scrolling on.
Right. If that's low, maybe your lead-in video isn't compelling or the tutorial seems confusing. Something's stopping them from jumping in.
Okay, what's next?
Completion rate. Of the people who start playing, how many finish the demo? A high rate. Great. It's engaging, easy enough to follow. Low rate. Maybe it's too hard, too long, or it just gets boring. You might need to tweak the core gameplay in the ad.
Got it. Engagement, completion, what's the ultimate goal?
Conversion rate. That's the big one. What percentage of people who play the ad actually click the final CPA and install the app?
And this depends heavily on...
Two main things. One, does the playable ad accurately represent the actual game? If the ad is super fun but the game is totally different, people will install and then leave immediately. That kills retention.
Manage expectations.
Exactly. And two, is the end card clear and compelling? Yeah. You mentioned interactive end cards earlier, like that Homer City example where they saw 69% conversion lift. That final screen matters a lot.
Huge difference. Are there metrics beyond these core numbers?
Definitely. Qualitative feedback. Don't underestimate just asking users. In ad surveys, looking at App Store reviews that mention the ad, this can give you insights the numbers don't. Why did they like it? What frustrated them?
The why behind the what.
Precisely. And finally, you have to look further down the funnel at retention and lifetime value, LTV. If your playable ad drives tons of installs, but those users disappear after a day, something's wrong. It often points back to that mismatch between the ad and the actual game. Accuracy is crucial for long-term success, not just install numbers.
So it's a whole ecosystem. The ad needs to work, but it also needs to be truthful to the main product.
Absolutely. It's all connected. This whole data-driven approach, it's not just about making something pretty. It's about understanding why it works, who it works for, and constantly refining it. That continuous optimization, that's how you really maximize your return.
Okay, we've covered the why, the how to build, the platforms, the measuring. Let's look ahead. What's next for playable ads? And what are the bigger responsibilities here?
Well, the landscape keeps evolving. Think about consoles, PlayStation, Xbox, Switch. We'll likely see guidelines adapting for bigger screens, controller interactions, maybe even ads integrated at the system level.
Different context entirely.
Right. But the core principles, non-disruptive, effective, and pitch of it, those will probably remain the foundation.
And then there's the really futuristic stuff, VR and AR.
Oh, yeah, that opens up huge possibilities. We're talking truly immersive ad experiences.
Like what?
Imagine interactive 3D objects you can manipulate in VR, or 360-degree video ads, maybe full virtual rooms branded by a sponsor, using spatial audio. Ads that react to your movements or gestures.
Playable VR minigames inside another VR game.
Potentially. Or AR experiences triggered by scanning something in the real world. It's a whole new creative canvas.
Wild. And accessibility, is that becoming more of a focus?
It has to. Future guidelines will definitely need to address creative standards and tech specs to make sure these in-game ads are inclusive for gamers with disabilities. Everyone should be able to have an equitable experience.
That's really important. And as these ads get more sophisticated, more integrated, the ethical side becomes even more critical, right? Privacy, kids.
Hugely important. The IAB guidelines touch on this heavily. User privacy and data protection is paramount. Platforms and advertisers have to be transparent about how data is collected and used, complying with GDPR, CCPA, giving users real control through opt-in consent.
No sneaky tracking.
Definitely not. And age-appropriate advertising. If your game might have kids playing, you need extreme diligence, using signals to block adult-themed ads following rules like COPPA in the US. Often this means a zero-data approach for kids. No behavioral tracking, no targeting, just contextually relevant age-appropriate content.
Makes sense. What else ethically?
Avoiding stereotypes and offensive content. Creatives need to be sensitive. Brand safety tools help filter bad stuff. Transparency in sponsorships, if it's paid content, make it obvious, don't mislead people. And sensitivity to current events. Be aware what's happening in the world. An ad that's fine one week might be tone deaf the next.
Right, context matters.
And overall, there's a push towards responsible gaming advertising. Ads shouldn't encourage excessive play or predatory monetization. They should promote balanced entertainment. It's about protecting the players and the integrity of the whole gaming space.
It really underscores the responsibility that comes with advertising in such an immersive, often personal medium.
It does. It's not just about making money. It's about fostering trust and ensuring the ecosystem stays healthy and safe for everyone.
So it's clear the future here isn't just about cooler tech, but also smarter, more ethical design and implementation.
Couldn't agree more. So just to kind of wrap up where we've been.
Well, let's recap.
We've gone deep on playable ads, what they are, the tools to build them, the tricky bits of getting them published on platforms like Facebook and Apple, those all important
Right,
guidelines.
and how crucial A/B testing and data are for actually making them work well, measuring success, iterating.
Exactly. And we've peered into the future of VR, AR consoles and really stressed the ethical side: privacy, age appropriateness, responsibility.
Okay, so here's something to chew on as we finish. As tech like VR and AR makes gaming even more immersive, what kind of really surprising, maybe deeply integrated creative ideas will we see in the next wave of playable ads? And maybe more importantly, how will the platforms keep up? How will the rules evolve to balance all that innovation with keeping the user experience positive and safe?
That's the big question, isn't it?
It's a space that just keeps moving. Staying on top of it means being curious about the tech, sure, but also about the people interacting with it.